Hello, this is Danny Scroggins from HOPS HQ. Just a little video to keep you up to date with some of the changes being made in HOPS, particularly to do with the changes to users' personal information being moderated before it's accepted into the system. So I made a video a week or so ago that showed you that this was effective now for postal addresses and for emergency contact details. And it's now been extended to medical details as well, as part of our wider review of how medical details are stored in HOPS. So I'll just show you how it works. If I click on my name in the top corner and edit my details, in exactly the same way as when I was editing my postal address, changes to addresses are processed before they appear on your profile, and my emergency contact information, it now also applies to my medical declarations. And we've made an effort here to separate out the medical information that the user provides from the medical information that the company provides. And the medical information that the user provides we're now calling medical declarations. There always used to be regular medication taken, disabilities and restrictions, and now medical conditions has been added to this as well, in light of feedback that we've received from you. So I'll imagine that I'm just going to change my medical details, and I'll change it just to ABCD. I won't try and make up anything funny, and I'll save. And of course it won't save immediately. If I go and have a look at my medical information, the old medical information is still there, but there's the familiar note in red to say that a medical details change has already been initiated to ABCD, which is what I just put in. The changes are moderated in exactly the same way as changes to user details and emergency contact details are. Up here in the top corner, there is one user details change notification awaiting acceptance, and it's the same page, or here in the all staff list, there's a change notifications waiting tab at the top. And even more so important than address changes and emergency contact changes being notified to the railway rather than just silently slipping into the system, it's really important that medical declarations are sort of noted by somebody who's in charge, just so that if a user has put in a new condition that some adjustments need to be made for, or they can't work alone, or it changes the work they can do, that the railway management notice that it's there and notify the relevant people and take action if necessary. So unlike address changes and emergency contact changes, which can be bypassed using the permission, there is no bypass for medical declaration changes because they should always be observed by someone. So there's what it was to start with, 112234, and here's what I'm proposing to change it to, ABCD. That's who it applies to and who proposed it and the time and date that they proposed it. And the same as before, I've got accept and reject and no action if I want to come back to it later. So I'll accept these changes and press update, and then they'll be accepted. And hopefully if there is anyone else that I need to notify, such as that person's line manager or head of department or whatever, that's the point at which I would do it in order to make sure that the relevant people were aware. If I now go back and have a look at my medical information, there it is, my medical declarations now say ABCD because they've all been accepted. It works in exactly the same way if another manager edits a person. So if I now put myself in the mindset of another manager, and we'll edit Danny Adamson, and we'll change some of his information, medical, show information, edit medical details. So we'll change him to QWER, and we'll press save. And there it is. It's not entered at the moment, but a change has been proposed to QWER. And if I now go and find the notifications tab, I'll be able to accept it in the normal way. Here we are, or in fact this one I'll reject. Update. Now, just while we're talking about medical details and the fact that when these medical fields were first put in HOPS, back in the very early days of HOPS, we didn't have competence elements. and now we do have competence elements, a lot of medical information is now more appropriately stored as a competence element. So those 4 fields that we're calling the medical declarations that the user makes themselves are going to stay where they are. They'll be on the user's profile. But these other fields, the company medical information, we're going to remove those from the user's profile, and we're going to build another special type of behavior of competence element that has those fields on. So when you have a competence element for medical, or medical 1 and medical 2 in many cases, those fields will be available on the element. So we'll still be storing the information. It just won't be on the user's profile anymore. It'll be in the element with the medical where it belongs. And that will finally end the days of this conflict in HOPS between whether medical information is stored in the old place on the user's profile or in the new place in the competence element. And it'll make that distinction. So I hope that's useful. Please let me know if you have any feedback. Thank you very much.